Dan! I've got an idea. You know how usually we have trouble deciding what board game we're going to play?
Yeah?
Well, you see, I came up with an idea. If I chuck this knife at the shelf, whatever game it sticks in is the game we play.
How about we just play Zombie Fluxx?
You don't respect my ideas.
Oh, no. I respect your ideas, just, that's your Fluxx knife anyway, right? You got your knife, I got Zombie Fluxx. How about Zombie Fluxx?
I see.
Alright, Zombie Fluxx it is. Zombie Fluxx is known as the ever-changing zombie card game. The reason being is because the game changes every single time you play it, every single hand you play it. The game starts off normal enough. You just have a deck of cards and a single card that you always lay out at the beginning that says basic rules. Basic rules are that you draw one and you play one at the start of every single turn. So you draw a card and you play a single card. You start off with a hand of 3, you pick whichever card you want to play, and that card will affect the game in subtle ways. The goal of the game is, well, there is no actual goal at the start of the game. There are cards called go cards. They actually change the goal of the game as you're playing. They could change every turn depending on how many of them are in people's hands. So at the start of the game, your goal might be to have provisions, have a sandwich and coffee in front of you. You achieve these goals by getting cards that are called keepers. Keepers can range from lumber to coffee to the baseball bat. You play them down in front of you and they help you achieve the goals. So whenever a goal says, well, okay, they fear fire, you need to have gasoline and lumber. That means you need to have the lumber keeper and the gasoline keeper at the same time in front of you. You can have more keepers, which actually will help you increase your chance of winning the game. The real strategy in the game comes from the rule cards. Yes, the game actually has rule cards. So let's say you play the draw 5 card. Well, that means from now on everyone's going to draw 5 cards. There are no other cards affecting how many you play, so you're still only going to play 1 card per game. Luckily, there are cards called play cards. So let's say you lay down the card that said play 2. Well, now that means for every turn, everyone's going to draw at least 5 and play at least 2. Your hand's going to grow, depending on the rule cards in front of you. And rule cards range in anything from hand limit of 3. That means, okay, if it's not your turn, you can only have 3 cards in your hands. So say if that was combined with the draw 5 card, well, now you're going to be drawing 5 cards, and if you had the play 2 card down, you're playing 2 of them and then discarding however many cards in your hand down to 3. Double agenda. Now you're going to have 2 gold cards at the same time. The main difference between this and normal Fluxx is the fact that they have zombies in this game known as creeper cards. If you draw a creeper card, you actually have to place it down in front of you and continue drawing till you're done drawing however many you need. There are actually 5 types of zombies in this game. There used to be 4, but this is version 1.1. As far as we know, the only new card is a card called Larry the Zombie. He can't be killed, you can't get rid of him, and even if a card says you win the game, Larry cancels that out. He actually gets passed around whenever the goal is changed. There's your regular normal zombie, those can be killed. There are cards to do that in the game as well. Pair of zombies, whenever you kill a pair of zombies, you actually move this card to any other player. Zombie trio, same as a pair, the only difference is they have arrows on them. Whichever way the arrow points, once you kill it, that's where it goes. And the zombie quartet, if you kill that zombie quartet, it actually goes to the top of the draw pile. So whoever's turn is after yours, they're for certain going to get the zombie quartet. There is even one very specific and only one card of this type in the game called the ungoal. That ungoal actually causes everyone to lose, which depending on the type of people you play with can happen quite a bit. Because some people will realize, oh, they're not going to win. Ungoal. No one wins. We've even had people who don't ever want to win. Their goal of the game has always been to get the ungoal card out there and force everyone to lose. It can be funny sometimes, and sometimes it can be annoying. The only other type of card in the game is called an action card. These are essentially chance cards like in Monopoly. They do whatever's written on them immediately. You play it out and that's the end of that. They could range in anything from get rid of all the rules. Okay, all the rules gone, you're back to play 1, draw 1. Trade hands with someone. Okay, you trade hands. Draw 3 cards and play them automatically. It depends on the action card. Anything can happen at any particular time. A game can go quick, a game can go slow. It's really different every time.
Isn't life wonderful? Isn't it grand when you're running from the zombies and you're holding your hand a shotgun that you took away from a friend? He won't need it now, he's probably dead. Isn't it flux now? Isn't it cool when you're screwing over friends so it can be you? There's only one now, somehow you gotta hold out, the patrol out to come out to the rooftops, it's all out.
You made me do this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But you made me do this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You son of a bitch!
Now that was a good game of Zombie Fluxx.
That was a good game of Zombie Fluxx. Bit more chaotic than our usual games.
I disagree. Oh, sorry I tried to kill you.
Oh, that's fine. I tried to kill you as well.
These things happen. I thought you were going to chop my head off with that shovel.
Oh, yeah, I thought I would too. So that's Zombie Fluxx in a nutshell, folks. Bit chaotic, sometimes a wee bit violent, but at its heart, fun little game. I give it a 6 out of 10. I do have a few problems with the game. After a few plays, you just kind of get sick of it pretty quickly, especially if it's the only game you got lying around. And I know some people absolutely abhor the game because there are some moments where, admittingly, you aren't in control in the least bit. Somebody can win on their first turn if their luck is good. But despite all that, I recognize it can still be a really fun game, especially with new people. I mean, the rules are written right on the cards, so 6 out of 10.
I am going to disagree slightly. I love Zombie Fluxx. I love the entire Fluxx series. Monty Python, the regular, obviously, and Zombie. I haven't tried Stoner Fluxx yet, and I love them because of how simple they are, and pretty much anybody can play them. The setup is so minimal, so they're perfect for a coffee shop, sitting around drinking coffee with some friends, some people who barely even know board games. And they're such a good entryway. Like, we used Fluxx to introduce a lot of our friends to the world of board gaming that was outside of, like, Scrabble and Monopoly. We were like, here's a sweet card game that has nothing to do with Child or the Parker Brothers. And so that was like their start of their adventure. And then we would introduce Kingsburg and Puerto Rico and all these other reviews that are coming up. And so I really enjoy the Fluxx universe. So I'm going to go ahead and give this game an 8 out of 10. And in my opinion, most of the Fluxxes are a 7 out of 10, but this is my favorite version. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. And the biggest reason is for this card, the I Alone Survive card. The one I try and get every time. Everyone else has zombies, you have no zombies, no friends, and a car. You alone survive.
He does love to be the only one left who survived.
I do.
To him, it's like the perfect way to win the game.
It really is a perfect way to win the game. Speak of the devil. I Alone Survive, America.
You son of a bitch!